Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
All right, guys, welcome back to the show. I'm your host, Brett McCollum, and I'm here today with Mike Pilarczyk, and today we're going to talk about marketing for agents. That's right. Before we do, guys, at Investor Fuel, we help real estate investors, service providers, and real estate entrepreneurs to 2 to 5x their businesses to allow them to build the businesses they've always wanted and allow them to build the lives they've always dreamed of. Without further ado, Mike, how are you, man?
Doing good. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. Thanks for hanging out with me today. I mean, really good catching up with you, getting to know you kind of pre-show. And guys, I'll be honest with you, Mike's got some cool things he's working on, and I'm really excited to talk about. But before we get into all of that, let's get same thing we always do. Let's get some history. Tell the people who's Mike, give us some background, catch us up to speed a little bit.
All right, sounds good. Well, my Mike Pilarczyk, I'm in Florida, Lakewood, right? I am the only Cleveland Browns fan in Florida right now. I was born in Cleveland. Lived most of my life.
Unfortunately, me too, Mike. Unfortunately.
Yeah, it's really nice weather down here. But yeah, spent most of my life up in the Midwest, and then decided a couple of years ago that we were ready to go try some winter warmth, and happy we did so. So
Then you got hooked. Yeah, we did the same thing. My family did. We just talked pre-show, guys. We were talking, and we're both from Ohio, right outside of Cleveland, both of us, and realized that if you guys listen, I might be biased, Mike. We might be biased, but you guys can also come to Florida. It's warm and nice here too, you know.
it is. It is a decision.
Yeah, but no, that's super cool, man. So you moved down here, but I know from what we talked about, you left from Iowa, though. Is that correct?
Yep. So I moved to Iowa when I was pretty young. My dad got transferred out there, and went to the U of I, go Hawks, and then was an accountant, was a CPA for a long time. Decided I had my fun in that field, and decided to get into real estate about 10 years ago.
Okay.
And so doing that up there, and now we brought it down here. We still still do work up there, and we're doing it down here now.
So the accounting world, man. So yeah, we're very different people, you and I. Brett and numbers and math are just, they're not friends. Okay. That's why I need friends like Mike, you know? So,
I just said set the bar higher.
there you go. But yeah, see I kind of guess it's the age old question that we always ask is like, so you're in the accounting space. What kind of goes, yeah, real estate too. Like what happened there?
You know, it's a natural. It really is a great fit, and it really helps out because we do a lot of work. We flip houses ourselves, and we do a lot of work for our investor clients, and it helps being able to to look at the numbers a lot of different ways and to crunch that. It definitely doesn't hurt. You don't have to be a CPA by any means to do it, but it definitely has come in handy a number of times, commercial stuff, things like that.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm so sorry, Mike. Let's back up a little bit here. Wife, kids, like what's family life like?
Yep. So we have, so my wife and I live here. We have a total of 4 kids. We've got 2 up in Iowa, and we've got 2 down here in Florida.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
I love it if the 2 in Iowa move down here, but
Sure.
the flight's not too bad up there. Yeah, we've been down here a couple of years. We've got our oldest is a doctor up there in Iowa.
Oh, wow.
The next one down there, he runs our real estate up there. And then we've got a daughter down here who is doing a lot of really cool things. And then we've got our youngest one's in sophomore high school. He's fishing,
Wow.
tough life.
Yeah, you're a little ahead of me. We've got 4 kids ourselves, wife and
Okay.
I do, and they're young. So our oldest is 11, but
Oh, nice. Your oldest is 11?
11, yeah. So I'll join you someday.
Well, there's a reason I shave off this hair. I don't want anybody to see any gray hair up there.
Man, I'm telling you, I told my wife the other day, like, I was like, I'm starting to get some stuff going on, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. So
I know. I hear you. Just keep fighting the good fight, man.
that's it, man. But yeah, no, super cool. And I think that's a testament, by the way. I don't know, probably nobody's really told you this on a podcast before, but you've raised your kids well enough that you can leave and they're okay.
Yep.
That's a cool thing, as a dad. I know looking at it, like, I would love that idea that, like, good. So, man, that's our first job, right? Before all the real estate, before everything else is we're husbands and we're fathers and you've raised your kids well enough they can stay back and they're okay,
You know,
so kudos to
100.
you, my friend.
Well, thank you very much. You too, young man. No, I agree with you. It's the most important thing, there is. And, it, having that center in your life, really kind of helps because, it's really cool to have things that you don't waver on, and like things that, not negotiable. And it's like, family first and, uh, blessed, man. And I'm sure you feel the same way. It's like, I got that core group and, just couldn't be more blessed, man.
Yeah, because I mean we both I again we don't we've just met, so I can, but I can almost, there's a certainty with what I'm about to ask you. It's like you it's not always easy in our industry,
No.
and it's
Yeah.
hard, and we get kicked in the teeth sometimes. And probably, I don't know about you, but I've questioned, like, why am I even doing this, more than once.
Oh, a number of times, yeah, and it's really challenging, like because your clients are calling and they don't care if it's your kid's birthday, and and understandably so. I get it. Everybody's got their thing. So balancing that is a challenge to say the least, and you're right. I don't know how many days like I've woken up and I'm like, I got so much going on and I got so much I got to do for work. And it's like, "Hey, man, it's the juice
I
worth
could have
the
done
squeeze on this."
anything else. Why did I? Yeah, no,
Yeah.
yeah, but like back to what you said, like there are non-negotiables in our life, and our families are that, and that does bring a lot of in the tough times. There's peace in that, right? Of going, you know what, like no matter how hard it is,
Yep.
this is good. This is good.
Yep. No
And I
matter what.
know I know that some of us can't say that about our family lives, but because it's some people, but we are very blessed to have that. And reflection
Yes,
on that is, and that grateful heart and grateful spirit is it's a big deal with when it's tough out there.
it is, and in so many ways, and you touched on it a little bit ago, is that you've always got that to look back on. You've always got that to come home to. I can pick up that phone and I can talk to, someone I love more than life itself, and it's like that is a gift.
That's a
That
miracle when you think about it, though, right? It's like because I know when I look, I'm like, dude, I don't deserve that. like,
oh
like But
You know,
it really leads that grateful heart, so,
it
but
does.
yeah,
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
let's talk real estate a little bit. I mean, I love talking family life and all that, and
Yeah,
I love that. But it's a real estate podcast. Let's probably talk about some real estate.
do it.
You mentioned that you guys flip houses, as well. What does that kind of business side of your business look like?
So we don't. That's not our primary background, but we're more like opportunists when it comes to that. My wife, she spent her whole life in construction. It's actually kind of cool because she goes on. She always working with builders her whole entire life since she started working, and it's really cool. A lot of guys are taking them back. You got this tiny little thing out there, and you know she she can keep up with everybody out there, when she's coming up with ideas that are as far as the construction side that are like teaching some of the guys some stuff. They're like, "Whoa,"
Yeah,
so she's managing that, and so she's a bulldog, so having her is kind of like an unfair advantage almost because she knows so much
sure.
about like what needs to be done, and everything from pulling permits to the getting occupancy to everything in between. And it really is like a secret weapon. So having that, and then really you couple great people with some energy, and some real, hey, we're going to get this done, some hard nose, not being afraid to roll up your sleeves and pound some nails yourself. um, it, uh, it it can put you in position at least where you have a good chance to succeed. So
Right.
we're blessed in the sense of like her background. I built about 15 houses up in the Midwestern area, so we're familiar with it. So that helps. And when you can leverage a lot of that stuff, it helps you provide a good product at a good price to your ultimately the consumer.
Yeah. And you mentioned the word, I like that word, opportunist, right?
Mhm.
So you more come from for our audience listening, more from the traditional agent side of it. I wouldn't call you anything but you're nothing traditional. I will say that. But
Depends. I don't know.
yeah, but as I love the fact that as a real estate agent, using that word opportunity, because I often wonder with the agents that I know, I'm like, why do more agents not invest in real estate? Flip houses, buy and hold, whatever it might be. Because my people that I talk to and teach and stuff over the years, I ask them the beginning because I wholesale a lot of real estate, right? So everybody asks the question, why would they sell a house at a discount? Okay, they always want to know, why in the world would this happen? Da 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 da. And I'm telling them who our target demographic is and that sort of thing. But the question always comes back to this one, and I'm going to lead you into this one, Mike. Here it comes. When most people, let's call it 95% of most sellers, when they're ready to sell a home, what is the first thing they do?
They're ready to sell a home.
Yep. What's the first call they make?
They're going to call a realtor.
Call a realtor. It's a layup. It's an easy one,
Thank
right?
you.
They're gonna
I thought it was a question at first, though.
no, that's it. They're gonna call a realtor, right? So if 95% of all sellers out there are calling realtors, why in the heck are realtors not looking for opportunity?
I know.
It blows my mind.
Me too. Me too. And because there is a, if you're looking for something, I always tell my kids, if you're looking for a red car, you're going to go see every red car out there. If you're looking for trouble and sad and misery, you're going to go find it no matter what. And the same kind of thing holds true with like the right property. If you're looking for the right property, I didn't say a property, it's the
Right.
right, because that's a mistake that we really advise a lot of our clients. We've told our clients don't do it so many times. They're like, you're actually trying to like sell real estate, right? But like, if it doesn't work, it's not going to be a good thing for anybody. So it's got to be the right.
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Place. And that's why I use the word opportunist. We're looking for no, man, most of the time, because it's like, there's got to be a reason. There's got to be a reason. And if you're smart about it, then you can really do well doing it. But if you're just like, hey, I want to go tell my bros that I just bought 3 places down in Florida, you're going to tell your bros that they're buying because you got skinned alive at the closings.
Yeah. Well, and you coming from the accounting background and knowing how to run the numbers appropriately and look at the cost analysis of it and the benefit, the long-term, side of it too, not just the immediate gratification of, like, hey, if I flip this house, I can make $30,000. Okay, but what about capital gains? But what about your tax liability? But what about, and then you really walked away and you made 12.
Right.
If
Exactly.
if you're lucky and you sold it for full price and you didn't have any.
Exactly. It's all about, to us, it's all about discipline and staying in between the lines. Everybody wants to churn and burn, man. I'd love to flip 1,000 places this year if I could. I would love to make money on every single one. But if you don't have that discipline, you have your processes, and they're largely the same, but everybody's can be a little bit different. You got to stay true to yourself. You got to stay true to your process, stay true to your model. That's the way to be successful.
Well, let me ask you this. This is more of a higher level question, though. Um, and everybody runs their underwriting and risk analysis a little bit differently, right? So me on the wholesale side of things, we like to reach out. Let's talk about to our buyers and ask them what their buy box is and blah 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 blah. Right? We're talking about that because everybody's different. When you guys are evaluating property and you're mitigating that risk and you're really looking at it from we're looking for no, what makes it a yes for you guys?
So it's gotta pass like a number of tests. I mean, if we rarely will lose on something. We have lost, don't get me wrong. We rarely will lose big, because we are very strict as far as what we do. And a lot of it is, obviously, neighborhood, we run the comps, we look at the ratios and stuff everybody looks at, but you really got to be honest with yourself and where you're at financially, and you've got to be realistic. And that's the hardest thing, because as it's like there's optimism about, man, look at this place. Like, man, the bones are good on this thing. I can be able to save this and that and the other thing. I stick 20 in it and I'm going to make 100. It's real easy to do that. But like, we spend a lot of time, we drive around, we spend a lot of time talking to people, we spend a lot of time as a coming at it from the consumer side. How's the drive into the place? How, what realistically is the market for that? Who's going to be the buyer of this house, and what are they looking at right now? What are the other options that they have? Because that's really, there's options out there for people, and we try to look at it from as many angles as we can, just because we've taken our lumps.
Oh yeah.
And it's like, you learn and go, that gray hair, you're talking about, some of that comes with, okay, I wouldn't call it wisdom necessarily, but like, okay, I did this that one time and I got killed.
I touched a stove and now I know it's hot. So yeah.
So a
Yeah.
lot of that, and honestly, it's got to pass the standard, the napkin test and the whole thing. But a lot of it is, it's got to check all the boxes. And if it doesn't, then it's probably not right for us. We probably could buy more than we do, but we choose to go safe because I just don't want to lose a lot, you know.
Yeah. And that's not wrong. I mean, heck, man, especially now, right? I think we could have gotten away with it 2021, 2022, you know, stick a sign out in the yard and it's and it's gone, kind of thing. But when things started to shift in 23 and then full on last year and even in now this year, and things are, I mean, you look at the market, right? And on the realtor side, like what are the average days on market right now? They just keep climbing, it seems
Yeah.
like.
Yeah.
And you're flipping houses and you underwrite it for a 6-month hold or a 9-month hold, and then it's, you're in it for 12, 14, 16 months, you're done.
Yeah,
You know,
exactly. Even by, even the, I'd say a huge percentage of the people we deal with, they're paying in cash, but still you got that opportunity of cost of that money, and like you said, you just exactly nailed it. You're talking, what a 12 to 16 month hold on that, you could do a lot. I mean, if you get in the crypto at the right time, I mean, that could be,
right?
who knows? So it's like you got to, that opportunity cost of that as well, and that's where that realistic comes into play. If your competition's out there, and some of that stuff, some of those flips are not necessarily on market. You just got to know, you got to know that market really well.
Yeah. I
You
think
know,
a lot of people in the flipper space, let's just keep staying in line with that. I think a lot of people are, they'll look at a neighborhood, they'll look at ARVs, and they'll look at, oh man, and I can get this for that, and stuff like that, and there is something you mentioned, like we'll drive it, we'll drive up, we'll drive out, we'll see what, like you have to really put yourself in the buyer's shoes.
yeah,
But here's the tough part. A buyer's shoes right now and a buyer's shoes in 6 months. Because realistically, that flip's going to be 3 or 4 months minimum, probably, if not 6 months, right? And then you're going to list it and sell it. And what's happening at the 6 month mark?
yeah,
In the market, it's not the same as it was when you drove out, because now the neighbor that was next door when you bought it decided to not take care of the place. That maybe they moved, maybe it was a tenant and it wasn't an owner, and then they let it go and it's overgrown, and now you have this house that was, this is the perfect spot. There's still, you can't control it all.
yeah.
So I really appreciated what you said of like we're checking all of the boxes, right?
Mm.
Because if after that 6 month mark, when you go to list, this is my opinion anyway. All right, maybe one of those boxes that you checked are now unchecked, but you still have all the other boxes, and
Yeah.
you're mitigating.
Yep, exactly, exactly. You're playing. It's a safety thing, and we'd love to. And when we first started doing it, we were like, okay, we'll have an exit plan if that happens. If we've got an external condition that's going to be hurting us, we'll bail. We'll get out. Well, you can't all the time do that.
Yeah.
It's not easy to do. So sometimes you're exactly right, and that's why we do have that discipline of like we must check them all, because when the time comes, we may not have them all checked,
Yeah.
and so we want to at least tilt the table as much as we can in the favor of our buyer and us, because we are real firm believers that greed kills and that everybody's got to win. We believe that from our subs all the way to the buyers, to everything. And it's there's people out that are definitely like, look, I'll slap this thing together with glue and band-aids, and then it'll look pretty for a while. you know we are in it. We play the long ball, and we're more buy and hold people than we are short selling, you know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
like, we're not I want to see these people in the grocery store and at the games and stuff, and have a smile, and that's more important to me than an extra grand
Yeah,
or something.
and that speaks to your character, man. I love that. Well, we kind of led off the show introducing it as marketing for agents. So, and I know a lot of our audience too are, we're investors, but then there's also a lot of agents that are investors, kind of like yourself in that regard. I mean, we're talking like, when you moved, so we talked pre-show a little bit, and I'll kind of fast forward it a little bit for us. When you moved to Florida and realizing because Florida's a different game, right, than it is in the Midwest in some parts. And there's just so many more agents in the state of Florida. I mean, it's insane. And there's agents spending a lot of money on their marketing. I mean, just if you don't already have that financial establishment behind you, it's hard to compete, so to speak. Um, I think I caught us up a little bit there. If I didn't catch us up a little bit closer, and then tell us what you've been doing on the marketing side, because guys, it's really cool.
Okay, so when we got down there, we found that like because we're normal, we're not a mega agent, or anything like that. We do okay, but we weren't able to throw 50,000 a month at leads. We weren't able
Yeah.
to. A lot of people down here doing it, and so we kind of were just brainstorming things that we could do to get leads because we were new. We had Iowa business. We were blessed, like you just said. Hey, we had a business going, so we were safe. But so what we came up with was we basically took some money, we developed this platform, and initially we were just going to do it for our own website, but we rolled it out nationally, and it's essentially it's a bidding website for buyers, sellers, and agents is what it's
Hmm.
for, and our mantra is everybody wins on this. So it's called anewagent.com. And the premise is that buyers and sellers can go out there, and in less than 60 seconds for free, they can give some details on their house. They can hit submit. A request for bid goes out to every agent that's on our system. We thought it was important to make it so everybody can compete. So it's $10 a month if someone buys the year. It's $20 a month if they want to go month to month. Um, and we made it that for a reason because we wanted everyone to have the chance to compete. And ultimately, everyone's going to win. The consumers are going to win because they're going to get the best price out there, and the agents are going to win because they have opportunities. So agents put their best bid in, flat dollar bid, and then 24 hours, the system sweeps the three lowest bids. Contact information gets exchanged between the sellers and the agents, or the buyers and the agents, and then they take it from there. So we're a platform that matches buyers and sellers with agents, and they take it from there.
That's incredible. Yeah, I think especially now with the NAR settlement that came down and all that, this
Yep.
really allows you to compete with that space.
Yeah,
I think that's pretty cool.
it is. It is, and it's been. We launched in August. We timed it with the NAR ruling there.
Perfect. Yeah.
We're geniuses, really.
So
Yeah, anyone would have figured that out. But um, but it's working out really cool. We are there is we are seeing pockets around the country of where those the we're seeing that there are pockets that are hanging on to that 3%, like it's their lifeline. The fact of the matter is that what we're seeing, the areas of the country that are using it really is working out well. The feedback we're getting is fantastic, and everybody's really making money. So it's a great way all around.
it is. And I think it's the age-old thing with business. If you don't evolve, you die.
Yep.
And it's that the traditional 3%, 3%, 6%, is it still exists. I mean, we're not going to say it doesn't, but like it with technology and its advancement, it is just you've got as agents that you have to evolve. There's a
Exactly.
lot of people that won't be here in a couple of years because they didn't. These are people I know that have been agents for 10, 15, 20, 30 years, and they're not going to evolve because like I'm stuck in my ways and I'm telling you, and if they don't, I'm like, they're not going to make it.
I could not agree with you more. And I've had conversations from older agents and different brokers and stuff, and they did not say nice things about me. And
And they
um,
won't. When there's change, people
right.
don't like change, man. They
Exactly.
don't.
They don't. But the fact you nailed it exactly on the head is that it is going to change. Every single industry is going to evolve in some form or fashion, some faster than others. We got a jump start in August. We didn't have a choice, right? Big moves. What we're seeing around the country is, um, uh, not to your point, the 3%, yes, it does exist. Those days are, consumers are becoming less and less uh, receptive to that standard
That's
3%
right.
way it's always been. So if we don't shift as an industry, then we're going to die as an industry. And that's the last thing that any of us want, because there's about 1.5 million of us that are doing really, really cool things for people. And I want to make sure we can continue to do that.
Incredible. Let me ask you this on the marketing side of things for you, because like, how are you guys getting your, like, how do more buyers and sellers and agents, like, this is a platform you initially created for your own needs, right? Which is super cool, by the way. And now, like, you're rolling it out. How is the word getting out?
Well, it's we have normal budget. The website was the development was expensive. And so as far as operationally goes, we're not operating with Elon Musk budget here. So that is the biggest challenge, because to market effectively, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
And so we're doing as much as we can on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, that kind of thing. And we we have realistic expectations. We don't get a whole bunch of sleep, but we're super active, and we're with the resources that we have. We're getting the word out, and it's growing. It's gradually growing, and we're hoping that getting on some podcasts and talking to more
Yeah.
people on maybe some bigger platforms and stuff like that, like yours and stuff, and
Yeah.
keep on growing, keep talking to people, that it's going to get some good traction.
That's incredible. Yeah, I mean, and by the way, for whatever it's worth, my firm opinion on anything that's worth building, it takes time.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of people that grow too quickly, that is some of the biggest mistakes, that, like, it seems like, what, I grew so fast, and then when it crashes so fast, they realize it was built on a house of cards.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you're exactly right. And I've got three investors that are with me on this thing,
Cool.
and just fantastic guys. We've got one's from the banking industry, one's from the appraisal industry, and another one's from manufacturing. So we've got a really cool group of people, and realistic expectations, and we're right on track. And like we've always said, that I've always told my kids that greed kills. If it's not a good recipe for success in any area that I've seen in my lifetime. And maybe I'm not looking at the right places, but for me, we want to provide just an off the charts service for people at just a great price. Let's have the consumers make a bunch of money, save some money when they go to the closing. And let's have it where agents can get busy and compete on a level playing field, where they don't have to compete against the monster agents, who they're great too, but
Right.
not everybody can throw 50 grand out there. We just wanted to provide an atmosphere for agents to thrive and
I love it.
save money.
And I see your heart in that, man. Like, that's why I like talking to people like this. I know we're virtually face to face, but like,
Yep.
being able to look at you and tell, like, this isn't it's not a, oh, yeah, I'm just saying this because it sounds good. Like, I can see it, like, and I can, like, and you guys are like sincere, and that is, to me, the coolest thing, is being able to see good business being done the right way. Man, but that's really cool. But I want to ask you, before kind of we wrap this up, what's the best way? Like, we've got agents, like I say, and the listening audience. We've got other people. What's the best way for people to reach out to you, get to, follow you guys, learn more, a little bit more?
Our website at anewagent.com. That's the first stop to go out there. You can message me on Instagram, Facebook, or TikTok. Mike Pilarczyk is my personal, and a new agent is the account. Message me up if you got any questions. Let us know. Shoot me a message, and yeah, I'd love to talk to anybody about it.
That's incredible. Yeah, guys, seriously, go out of your way, find that agents if you're listening. Um, it, Check it out. It's really cool. It's a unique opportunity to compete in the market that's being done, out there, and you're solving, Mike. You're solving problems out there for people, and I think that's going to return, blessing in your life as a result. But guys, go out there and seriously take a good follow on that. So, man, Mike, Been a super cool having you with us today. Thanks for spending the time and hanging out. It was a good time, man.
Thank you very much for your time, man. You're great. I love watching your show, and we'll continue to do so. So,
Sweet. Well, guys, it's been super fun. Thanks for hanging out with us today, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Take care, everybody.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.